check it out. Girl, if it wasn't for the drama you kept up, we wouldn't be in this situation. Okay, yeah, I want you. Let's get it poppin', let's get it rockin'. You was lost in the light, that's what happened. That's what happened. You was mapping from ways to sway of his actions. So I can't fuck with that. Just put that back away. Lots of ways, different things, all that symbolism shit. All that symbolism shit. Y'all afraid of, but not me though. I need $1 million, check. Count motherfucker, I ain't playing around, just
damn, it's too bright or not. It hurts my eyes.
Nigga, I might take your bitch, cause some bitch. See me looking fit, cause some rips, smoking even Ninja Turtles. Over the hurdles, now I ain't talking track star. I'm an actual star, word up, fly up. I'm the new easy jet, straight out of the flight. Homegirl, spend the motherfucking night. I'ma show you light, cause all your exes showed you right. I'ma show you light. With the star of my magic, it's better get the dopest in the club. Cause you got your love and saying love to others. It's your ex, test heart and life. You don't even have to tell him you moved on. Just the plan is gone. We are up in the sky with no parents. You thinking about marrying you. Hoping you trust me, boo. In the sky we blue. Take shit on some fruit. Worse that they missing you. Too late to check with you. I'm just gonna help you. Other trashy too. Just obsessed with you. I'm just obsessed with you.
My girl, you know. You know you're my girl.
I be chillin' in my palace. God call me, I be on it. Yeah, nigga, I make classics. That's cause I know magic. All energy is good. Transmute the edge of shit. So I walk across the world. I'm making money like a strip. Pause. You'll be giving me private shows. It's a spiritual, yeah, it shows. If everything what she let you on. She play with demons, that's my blue sheet.
One, she a witch. Two, another in a 3 times 4 comes with food. Lift your 5 tasks, then 6 comes with dick. 7 damn shits with your bitch got me moving.
Honestly, my nigga, just gotta say, the bitch was jazz.
How's that?
Like a damn, I'm on. Let's get it. Check it. Turn.
Excuse me, goddamn. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Give me a second. Woo, man. Y'all. Motherfucking Jet Spark Star Power. We back in this motherfucking shit, and y'all check it out, man. You know how we feeling with these air energy in a whole totality. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's so. There's so much. Make sure it says up. Yeah, we got so much air energy in the sky, so it's kind of like how are we correlating that with our everyday lives? Because it's kind of like with all this air in the sky, it's like there's gonna be a lot of like talking, but whether it be text, communication, your job, your friends and family. It's kind of like how are you gonna like move on to the next shift? Because we always going through shifts every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like where are you of each shift you're going through? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, and especially in astrology, because it's deep. Because like a lot of people like are always going through that little. This shit's bright, man. I want to take my glasses off, but it's too bright, so I'm gonna keep it on. But a lot of people like they go through the process of not understanding shifts. You know what I'm saying? Especially in astrology, because we got a lot of motherfuckers that talk about shift this and shift that and shift this and how you feel about this shift and how you feel about this shift. That's not really the point. The whole point is to understand your own shifts. You know what I'm saying? Because we all go through shifts internally, then it plays out externally. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it's deep because like, man, like it's like I would love to go out here and be talking about like all types of transitions and rotations and movements and shit. Because when I be traveling out this atmosphere, out this cloud, you know what I'm saying, out this water cycle, how much different shit that's like it makes me think that like how like why do we even do the things we do? Like Like, why do we like why we in see certain energies? You know what I'm saying? It's like we're so much more than this shit. You know what I'm saying? All of us. You know what I'm saying? Because like angels are so much more than this shit in general. So it's like when we going through something or when we're experiencing something down here, especially when you're in your strong spirit like me, and like if you're watching this like you too, like everyone, like you know what I'm saying. If you watch Uriel, you know what I'm saying. It's kind of like we already strong spirits, so we already aware of other shit that's may be behind closed doors or behind the scenes. So it's how are you willing to go through that change? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we just do this to like we just go through change every day because every day is an uphill battle, right? And that uphill. What's up, Mac Dank? I seen my phone's blocking the comment section, so if y'all talking, I can't. But yeah, uh, I seen the M. I think it's Mac. Yeah, but check it out, right? Um, yes, it is. What's up? What it do, Jail? What up, Mac Dank? So yeah, it's kind of like um how like how aware are you as a spirit? You know what I'm saying? That the whole point is to let like the shadow government know how aware you are as a spirit, right? Because it's like that's the whole point. Well, not in totality, but that's the because we're down here already, and since like we already in bodies such as them. You know what I'm saying? We all bleed just like them. You know what I'm saying? We all think and feel just like them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like we're any better than the next person. You know what I'm saying? We just going through life like as we should, because you know what I'm saying. That's what humans do. I'm not human, but in a world full of sheeps, you know what I'm saying. In general, it's like that. You know what I'm saying. You're gonna experience humans and human actions and human nature. So it's um how I'm saying it's like what can you offer to the plate? That was a perfect word I said. What can you offer to the table, to the plate? Because to table, right? In order to have a table, you need a plate too. So when you got that table and you got that plate, you got to make sure that table is not. I'm saying, because when that table is stable, then when you're eating or when you're putting shit together or whatever like that, it's the table's not gonna be it's not gonna be sufficient for you. You know what I'm saying? You may fuck around and break that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to be in spaces where you already offer good ideas, good feelings, good energy, good types of states of mind and things like that to the table. So the table's already structured and firm and stable. So you don't got, and then the plate by default when you got shit to offer to the table, when you got shit to offer to the plate is stable too, because the plate is not all shakety and like it's an earthquake or some crazy shit. It's just, you know what I'm saying, it's just going through the like your time. You know what I'm saying? Because once you think about something, once you put in energy work already, you're gonna go through the time, you're gonna go through the rejection, you're gonna go through the acceptation, or whatever you want to call it. But the end goal to it all is to have it's just to have an idea. I'm not an idea, but it's to have a goal in mind. You know what I'm saying? The end goal is to have a goal. So you gotta make sure your goal is, whether it be whatever gift or talent that goal is, make sure that goal is going gears, like make sure you're gearing that towards goal towards something. So whatever you got to offer to the external world, your internal world change too, because for the external world to change, you had to change the internal world first. So it's a whole process in general. And like with this air energy in the sky, that's kind of what it's teaching us. Like, what can we present and what can we, like, even if we got a lot of people talking shit about us, or even if you got a lot of people talking in general, they may make your eardrums sweat and things of that nature and all that, whatever that, it's kind of like, how can you like dodge them swords? You know what I'm saying? How can you dodge all them shit? Because like when you dodge them swords, and then when you understand a certain logic and air that you should uh take in for your chakra systems that to help you out, then you're in spaces where you can think, because air signs, whether they be flunked, but it's kind of like air signs, they do know what they be talking about, but sometimes a lot of signs already know the certain energies and certain states of thinking that they would already be in, because we all signs are experiencing life just as them. So it's kind of like, with that being said, like, we're all going through this shit together, so we all understand what the fuck we're supposed to be doing down here. And some of us don't, some of us do, but the whole point is to make a substance for yourself to accumulate out that, you know what I'm saying, and then like, and then make it happen, you know what I'm saying. So make that shit worth something, you know what I'm saying. Even if it's not worth something, you know what I'm saying, like, make yourself valuable, make yourself lit, make yourself like, go, you know what I'm saying, make yourself the charge, the energy, the reason why people do what they do, you know what I'm saying. You gotta be the leader and shit like that. Like, fuck being a follower, you always gotta be a leader, because when you're a leader, like, leaders are always creating new ideas and new jobs and new situations and new products and new uh stars, you know what I'm saying, and new ways of living, all that shit, you know what I'm saying. Like, when you're a leader, you by default are in these energies because you're doing God's work. That's what God needs you to be doing. You need to be in spaces where you already know what the fuck, even if you don't feel like you're right, you gotta make it right, you know what I'm saying. Like, and I mean right with the RITE, so with the energy. I ain't talking about the RIGHT with that shit where you get where that G makes flings you to somebody else's way of thinking and feeling, you know what I'm saying. And then the H makes that happen, like makes that earth energy, so it makes it boom, it makes that shit, you know what I'm saying. Nah, fuck that, you want to make that RI. If you're gonna add the T, put the E in the end too, so when that earth is in the creation mode, you give that all that the energy. So whatever that T had in it, it can have air, water, air, water, earth, fire, all that shit, all this substance together, the ethers, you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call it. And then you give it the E, the energy, so you make that shit go towards your way. So when you got the right way and how to go upon things, the whole point is to create that actual sphere, and that's in that sphere of reality, you know what I'm saying, that different plane of existence, no puns intended, planes of existence, you know what I'm saying. That's why I rap about planes a lot and all that shit. And I ain't even talking about airplanes and 3D planes. I'm talking about different planes of existence. So that's what we all do as spirits. We all create different planes of existence, different realms of realities, different stargates, portals. But fuck these words. These words just point to what we're trying to make. Like, for example, if y'all listen to my that what's that mixtape about? What's it called again? Star Pilot's Journey Through the Clouds, right? And each what the fuck was it? In each scene, in each act, I always put the portal, whatever you want to call it, the portal, the different plane, the different but it's really just when you spark a new thought, like when you come out of a dead form and create a new form. So every time you heard that, may have that in your mind, that I died from that form and went to it and went to a new form, a more like, it's always I'm going to an even more aware and broader form. That's kind of what the intention that was on my mind when I did that shit. So that's like a different plane of existence I'm going through. So like, it's kind of like when I found it's really about myself. Like, it's really about me understanding my own self. But I ain't gonna go too deep on that, because nigga, I like, nigga, I'm harder than any Mason, any Jew, any Jesuit, any of those motherfuckers. I'm harder than all that shit when it comes to acting, entertainment, business, religion, education, politics, business, all that shit. I'm harder than all them motherfuckers. So I be knowing what the fuck I be like talking about and doing this shit like that. So it's kind of like, it's like a thing, like, nigga, I can make my own comics, my own TV show, my own everything, you know what I'm saying? But so I just be, you know what I'm saying? I just be talking. So like, when I be saying this shit, I want y'all to feel like that's y'all too. Like, y'all are in that same space just like me and shit like that. But it's like, with that being said, it's kind of like, how can you, like, what can you offer? What can you bring to the table? You know what I'm saying? What can you create for yourself? Like, what idea, what kind of star can you create for yourself? Because the whole point is to create a star for yourself, like to create your own vibe and shit like that. Star comes with an idea, thought comes with a feeling, comes with energy, a vibe, whatever you want to call it. But that's what you're creating for yourself. So when you live the ritual and spell you practice on yourself, when you explain yourself down here, when you go through life down here, you know what you're talking about. Like you don't gotta think second guess and think like, well, don't think of like now you know the fuck you're talking about. It's like shit like that. So it's kind of like, motherfucking, you all gotta be in that type of timing because like we all know what we like. Who told you you don't know anything, nigga? You know everything. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't know anything, how the fuck would you even be here? The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck? If you didn't know anything, how the fuck would you even be here? Nigga, you're the one that initiated yourself to be here. You're the one that do all that. Like nigga, your mom didn't tell you, all right, honey, all right, sweetheart, put your heart right here, and then put your brains right here, put your lungs right here, put your feet right here, put your hand. Nah, nigga, you did that. So what made you think that you didn't know about, you didn't know that idea of where that mind form, mindset, mind state, whatever you want to call it, even came from? You know what I'm saying? For that to even happen, you were already in spaces where you've been there, done that, and you just doing it again because you understood that the mind bends into itself and then creates the organ. So that's some second nature shit to you. You know what I'm saying? That's some way in the, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you should already know what the fuck you be doing and shit like that. So that's why I be preaching this. Like nigga, we all angels, nigga. We all know, like we all are in spaces where we know how to understand our higher and lower natures and shit like that. And it's kind of like to know about these things. It's kind of like being in spaces where you already, what's that word I'm looking for? Yo, you already have the know-how in every situation, in every realm of reality. You're respected in all realms of reality. Fuck how this fuck the illusion that you see down here. Fuck all that shit, nigga. That ain't even the real shit. Like nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't even the real shit. Like it's deep, but it's like, man, I hope y'all are, you know what I'm saying, understand what I'm trying to say. But with that being said, man, it's kind of, and then when I go back to the cause then with the sun being Aquarius and the moon in Libra, and with that being like with that energy in a whole totality, like is there any, I think Mars is in Gemini too. So with Mars being in Gemini, I make sure, so I don't make sure I'm not talking about, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. With my I ain't gonna check it, but so with Mars being in Gemini, right? It's like that too. So it's kind of like we're also gonna be passionate about talking about and our creativity, our what we got, what we can produce, what we can manifest down here, what we can bring in down here and shit like that with that Mars energy. And then it's gonna be like, how can you make it make sense with that sun in Aquarius? And you know what I'm saying? Then with the moon in Libra, because the moon moves quickly, so it ain't gonna be there for too long. But like I say, a day and a half, it'll be out of there. But then with that being said, the moon in Libra, so it's also gonna push you to how you can relate that with, you know what I'm saying, with people you're close to, with people you're connected to, or even better with your soul group, with your soul group, because with your soul group, it's kind of like now you're in spaces where y'all already think it feels not. You may not think it feel the same, but at the end of the day, y'all have the same like goal in mind. Okay, we wanna change the minds of this world. You know what I'm saying? And we don't do the demonic way where we force people to change their minds. We just lead by example. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. So when the school start happening, when the flight school start happening, when all that shit, our vacations or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying, our soul group barbecues or cookouts or whatever you want to call them, or all that shit, nigga, like it's all that shit is gonna be like some crazy, some new holiday type shit, and it's gonna be some shit that's gonna be like praised by the people that actually see us doing shit like that. It's gonna be like people gonna look at that like that's the most creative shit that they've ever seen, and it's gonna make like these like the motherfucking Pope get out there, Pope get out there, see, and be like, oh, how the fuck can we live more like them? You know what I'm saying, how the fuck can we change? Like they, whatever they see in the Bible, or whatever they see in life, they must be seeing it the right way, because it can make them, it can make them not want to be in certain spaces of war and conquer and whatever. It's just pure connection and like-minded souls and spirits. You know, shit like that. Like that's what makes these cats think. So when you know like the right way and how to like go upon that and shit in general, now you're in better spaces in your life, because now you're in spaces of knowing where the power is. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't gotta chase money, you know what money is. You don't gotta chase love, you know what love is. You don't got chase none of that shit. You know what these shit this that all that shit is, and you and then it also takes you to the same conclusion. It also takes you to the same like space of where you understand that you gotta make these things yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when you now you're in a space where now you know how to make these things yourself. Now you're in the same spaces as where these motherfuckers were at when they thought they would create a system with gold, then it transmitted to money and credit cards and shit like that, and it was other different shit. But you know what I'm saying? But now that we're in spaces of now we're in like we know where these things actually come from. Now you are these things. You know what I'm saying? And you can make your own money. Like you can make uh 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 well, I'm trying to think of some. You can make like motherfucking paper. I'm not gonna show. Ooh, I'm not gonna show that. But you can make paper your new money and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the different shit. Even that was a bad example because nigga papers are already money. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like just random shit, water bottles or shoelaces, the new money. You know what I'm saying? And then you can it's all types of different shit. Like especially when you know how to transmute energy and shit like that. But yeah, man, we just talking about spirit talk and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We can go deep. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of want to, and also I want to talk about this too. Like when you when you especially when like death as a spirit, like because I was always talking about, because especially when I brought up my motherfucking album, how every plane every time you heard like a plane, a portal, a stargate, whatever, like I went to a different mind and I went to a different way of thinking. Like each song is a different anyway. But yeah, so it's kind of like that the concept of death in general is kind of like how I say this, when you die, right? Especially because I've died, so many. I've died so many fucking times, right? And I always, and it doesn't feel like what y'all think it feels like, especially, and there's a lot of different ways in how it feels like, right? But the main how, especially like it really feels like an orgasm, like because you're really just releasing from this form, like you're really just releasing all your the minds, the accumulation of the way you were thinking. It's like shit like that. So it's kind of like when you do die, right? It's kind of like however what whatever was on your mind. And when I say mind, I ain't talking about at that direct moment, but it can be that, but it's not gonna be in a large percentage level because nigga, it's like the only reason you thought like that is because like you were probably like, you know what I'm saying, you probably eating some food before you died, and you had food in your mind and you choked to death, but the food was on your mind, so that was a small percentage level. It ain't really gonna be something like, what's up Exo Gilco? What's up Exo Gilco? But yeah, so it ain't really gonna be like the, how I say it ain't really gonna be the food that's gonna be on your mind. It's gonna really be like, I mean, because you already, it's like it's gonna be the accumulation of your thought of that's the world you're going to when you die, like not really the food of. So you're not really gonna go in a world where you're just eating food every day. It's kind of like whatever that was on your mind in a whole totality, in a whole general perspective. That's the world you go to when you die. So it's kind of like how I say this. So when that happens, especially if you know how to die the right way, like if there's already shit going on in the environment, and 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, when you're already in a space of like, you've done this so many times, and let's say there's like a shootout, or let's say there's like I don't know, like different like some suicide bomber in your area. Which is, I know this is crazy, and then I don't wish this upon it. Like this is examples, right? Now it would be like a thing, like whatever's on your mind, for you to even have that certain thought on your mind, it came from a whole totality of how you think and feel in general. So you may even think and feel like you may always have like you may be practicing God's rituals and spells so much in your life that shit don't even affect you. Like you'll go through something where like everyone behind you or the whole crowd, like it's like a bomb. Nigga throws a bomb in the crowd. You're right dead in the motherfucking center, middle of that shit. Boom! The whole shit explodes, right? Everyone dies but you. And even better, nigga, you escape with no scars, no bruises, no whatever. And the only thing you got to think in your head was like, oh, like scientists or whatever, if they were there, they're probably like, oh yeah, they were in front of a human, so that human blocked all that shit, and like they were right. So they'll say some stupid ass example, but really what happened was, nigga, you were just so much in God's space that was actually impossible to actually infect you in any way. Like, you know that saying, no weapon formed against you shall prosper? It's kind of like that in a way. So it's kind of like when you're already in a space with all possibilities, you walk with it every day. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a bit. Like, it's kind of like everything that happens in the external world played out from the internal world. And since in the internal world you're already with God, and then in the eternal world you're most infinitely with God, because that's where God is at, the spirit. Then you have no, like, the mind has no choice but to bend into itself to create that organ, to create that stargate, that experience for you to not go through no pain, no nothing. You know what I say? No pain, no gain. It's really no gain, no pain. Because without that gain of you going through that actual, because a gain is like, I know they say gain and all that, but it's really not. A gain is like whatever happened is like a blessing. You'll never be less, but a blessing, right? A gain is like whatever you can accumulate from this world. You know what I'm saying? So that gain you accumulated from this world, with, without no gain, no pain. So with that gain you claimed in the spiritual realm, that's the esoteric realm, that's like a blessing. You'll never be less, but that blessing that God gave you. And with that blessing is there's a lesson. And once you get that lesson, now you're in spaces where you experience no pain out that lesson, because God already trusts you enough to know that you don't even have to go through any pain to for that lesson, for that game, because you've done this so many times, child, that I don't even need you to even go through that again. Because for you to go through that experience again, I see that even if you were to go through that, not only would you come up with better thoughts and feelings that the average person that would go through an experience like that wouldn't even imagine to come up with. It sees that you would already be in states and spaces and awarenesses that you don't even. It's like that energy is not even. It's not even worthy of your attraction. So that lets you know you're already in a space, uh, like a good ass space, and that's like the best words I can come up with in shit like that, because that's like the spirit understands that. Like, if you understand what I'm saying, you already know where the fuck I'm coming from. It's deep, right? So with that being said, that's how you have like a real relationship with God. And that I know that was like a big ass example, like a crazy ass example, but like deep down, like not deep down, but y'all know, like, for real, like, you can take that through all walks in life. You know what I'm saying? In all totalities in life. Like, it can be something as simple as drive. And I know it's probably not simple, but it can be something as simple as. And I'm sorry if I go deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm low-key a scorpion. Like, I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? But this is my rising. You know what I'm saying? So I paired it. You know what I'm saying? Slash sad. But I ain't gonna fuck that shit. But like, but yeah. So it's kind of like when you're driving and shit. It's kind of like you could be going through something where, like, you're driving, right, and then there's cars, traffic everywhere, and speeding and shit like that, and motherfuckers you that went in front of you just gets hit by a big ass truck, a big ass car. Now, any normal or regular human being, I'm not human, but this is any regular person would stop right at that moment and just stare and watch it the whole time and watch that shit happen. Like, they probably take out their phones too and be like, oh my god, look what the fuck just happened and shit like that. And then I probably do the same thing too. But when you're with God, you'll come up with different thoughts and feelings that like, because like at the end of the day, what is you taking out a phone and recording that gonna happen? Like, yeah, it's like, I'll probably do the same thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm here down here with all y'all too. So I'll probably be in the same energy, but and if I was really in a space like with all possibilities, because I'll be in spaces where I just be like, okay, fuck that. Like, it'll probably still look dangerous, but I'll just drive. I'll take my time, look left, look right, look left, and just be out. So why I said that's like, that's kind of like an example of not letting an esoteric building stop your way, because the angels created the buildings in the esoteric realm. So anything that happens, like anything that happens down here, was because of this buildings in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. So buildings play out as thoughts, feelings, energy, experiences, uh, uh, I can't, stargates, you know what I'm saying, ways of thinking, ways of feeling, all that shit, like ways, like just ways of going upon life. So it's kind of like, with that being said, we already be in spaces where we seen that shit from a mile away, because we already know what humans and sheeps and like already think and feel in general. So it's kind of like you already be in spaces where you don't even care about that attraction or that actual how is it, that, you know what I'm saying? It's like deep, but it's like y'all I hope y'all know what I'm trying to say. So it's like words can't really explain it. It's like words just make shit like that dirty. So me even going on is making it dirty. So I'm just gonna stop right there, right? But it's kind of like I throw that thought from away. It's not letting the external affect you. That's kind of like the best way I can explain it. And I hope to God that y'all know what I'm trying to get. And like, but it's kind of like just knowing the shit be fake. Like shit don't really be what the fuck it be about. I'm not talking about the car and the crashes. This is some different shit. But like, shit don't really be what it. You know what I'm saying? Like shit don't really be what the fuck it be about. Like a lot of times when we go through shit in life, it's like, because life is a school, life is a lesson. So it's kind of like how, and you always want to be in the more the percentage level as the teacher. So when you're more in the percentage level as the teacher, you know everything that happens, put it more on the reason it happened for a reason side, even if it's the most negative shit ever. Like make it positive, because that's how you really psych up the universe. You know what I'm saying? And when you know how to psych up the universe, that's kind of like what you're supposed to be at and supposed to be in, you know, shit like that. But it's kind of like make the shit happen, you know what I'm saying, for you and you only. So whatever you get in life, like it could be you could have got a book, you could have got anything in life, right? It's like whatever you got and you learn out of that shit and you see it playing through your real life, keep it with you and you only, because that's the only like God gave you that for a reason. Like God didn't give you give that to you just for you to express it to the whole world, express it to motherfuckers. Nah, God gave it to you because nigga, it trusts you and you only. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit like, don't feel like you've gotta save a life and save a mind form and save a thought form and save motherfuckers and not hurt people's feelings. Like sometimes you gotta hurt motherfuckers' feelings. Like some people be knowing what the fuck they be doing. Like people don't be stupid. People be knowing what the fuck they be into. So make the more percentage of what they into for reasons. So whatever they go through or whatever you go through or whatever God puts you through, and most likely it'll put you in what you can handle. You know what I'm saying? Most likely in that more percentage level, you'll be in spaces of shit where at the end of the road or at the end of the day or at the end of the rainbow, it all worked for you because you found gold, or at the road you found a mansion, or you know what I'm saying, some random shit like that. And that's kind of what it wants you to it wants to see you go through, because it wants to see if it trusts you enough to even, if you can go through something like that. It kind of seems like this. If you can't even go through this situation right here, then what makes you think that I'll put you in that situation when I know for you to even get to that situation, you want to get to that situation. But I can't put you in that because I know deep down you'll just invert that energy and not go for your passions. You'll go for your desires, and that's not the point. The point is to start from point A, point B, point C, and then you then create something out of that. So when God sees, when God trusts you, you can go through that. Then it'll say, all right, I can infinitely trust my child because I already see how they're thinking, how he or she is thinking. So however they're thinking, I'm not only am I gonna make whatever they think that is nothing, I'm gonna make this nothing too, and this kill the boss and take them to, kill the whatever the boss or whatever, and then kill them and take them to the actual warlord or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're in spaces of where you already know, like you already got confirmation of, that's your mission down here. You're here to like create, like make make up people. What's the word I'm looking for? You're here to like make a mind, like you know what I'm saying, like make a mind, like create a mind form, like change people's minds, but the angelic way. So you don't gotta seem like you're being selfish, you're being ego. You're just doing it because this is your life. This is what God sent you to do. So don't poison the whale. Make it make sense. So when you make it make sense, you already in spaces of where you already got confirmation, and then you already in to ways of thinking where the way you think is so broad that this world in general, you're way too big for this world. This world is outdated for in your, at least in your, within your people, within your internal realms, because the way you think and feel, it's so brought out, it's so out there that people already get the wrong idea of how you come across and how you give out your one too, especially family and friends. Like that's the first thing you got uh detach from if you're trying to like, if and when I say that I'm talking like detach from is like fuck how they feel, fuck how they think. That's what I'm talking about. It starts from the spiritual realm first, then it plays in the physical. But the first thing you should do is detach from any outdated way and an idea and how they think and feel, because that holds you back. Damn, I don't got my milkshake, dude. Anyway, but fuck it. I ain't fuck that shit. But yeah, because my lips getting dry. Need that milkshake. But yeah, check it out. So it's kind of like shit. Like, what was my point? Yeah, shit like that. So it's kind of like what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, it's kind of like when you know how to clear that mind and clear fuck their mind and how they think and feel. You are like the star. You are the star in the family. You are the star in the friend group. You are the motherfucker making change, causing static, causing havoc. What do you want to call it? You know what I'm saying? And when I say causing static, that shouldn't make you think that like you causing like motherfuckers to hate you and whatever. Like that's not even the point. Like if you're already on a come up, and fuck the come up, because you should already know where you're at. Like you should already know yourself by this time. So when you already are in the spirit, that's the best words I can explain. When you're already an individual, like that, you'll get haters, and you'll get communicate. What's the one I'm looking for? Community like individuals, right? The community like individuals will be a soul group. The haters will just be the haters. Now, check it out, right? By with you already getting haters, that's actually some energy that you need to be in more broader spaces and better ways on how to think and feel. Because now you're in spaces of where you already got the energy. Like, what's that one song that motherfucker made? I forgot his name as an artist, but he was like, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. Was that Gucci Man? If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. I forgot his name, but one I heard like a while ago. But this cat was talking about, yeah, if you ain't got, what's it? Oh shit, was it OJ the Juice Man? I don't even know. I don't remember, but yeah, he was talking about, yeah, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. You know what I'm saying? And that's some real shit right there, nigga. If you ain't got no haters, nigga, you ain't popping. So without the hate, you got no charge, you got no fuel, and you need that shit, because that's the shit that will take you out of situations. Like if you got hate and you dive down in that sea and went below the bottom of the deep blue sea, and you were with them demons and all them motherfuckers, it's kind of like you let a hater bring you down to their level, and for them to even hate, they already see you from a high horse. Whether, and this is for celebrities too, whatever. Like, nigga, if you're a celebrity and you got haters, nigga, you got haters for a reason, nigga. You don't. It's not just because you're it's not just because, like, yeah, it can lead to them hating you because you got money and shit like that. But it's really like deep down they hate you because they see something in you that they see in them, and they hate that you're already in a space of you are already in spaces of where you can be seen as even better and broader and different way. You can be in different walks in life and shit like that. So it's kind of like with you already being a celebrity, you're already in space. You're already in spaces like that, and celebrities that may not be subconsciously aware. They may be the type of celebrities that go in the comments, go in the YouTube section, go in the Instagram, go in the Twitter, go in the or whatever, and then they read every motherfucking comment they see about them, and whether it be hate or positivity, they'll the positivity will already be something that they get in their life every day in general, because that's kind of what that's kind of like they be in their ego about that shit. But you know what I'm saying. But with the negativity and this is if they're not subconscious, you know what I'm saying, if they're not spiritual, right? It's kind of like with the negative shit, they'll read every negative motherfucking comment, and then once they read every negative comment, right, they'll be in spaces of where they try to change the way they move, the way they express themselves, the way their facial expressions go, the way their body movements go, the way all that shit goes. They'll express it just to be seen a certain way for somebody that ain't even shit, and for, and for them to even comment on how they think and feel about you, and you to respond to that and react to that, nigga, that means you ain't even shit too. So you're just as ain't shit as them, and you're just as in the low vibrational space as these cats or these bitches or whatever like that. Cause now you're already in spaces of motherfucking, they brought you below them. So now the spaces that they were looking up at you, now nigga, you looking up at them. So nigga, ain't that a bitch? They did not only did they bring you down, but then nigga, they brought you down to even lower spaces that they weren't even in. But that was their whole idea, to bring you to spaces like that. Because when they see you that you're in spaces like that, even if they don't even watch you, or like even if they don't even notice how you move or how you reacted, it's kind of like now they see you in spaces like that. So it's like you are already in, how I say it, no, you are already in need now. Like, so play out. So all right, for example, so basically they may not be aware, they may not notice that your actions change and your expressions change and your body movements changing and your facial gestures change. But in the spiritual realm, what happened was they basically just got you over them now. That's I can't even sugarcoat it. That's basically what happened. So you basically let a demon take you to an even lower spot that they were even in, and they ain't even in that spot as low as that. So it's kind of like we're just in a demonic world, and with that demonic world saying, I ain't even talking about how people think and feel. I'm talking about how we think and feel, because thinking and feeling in general is like demonic in a way. Like that's dirty. That's like thinking and feeling is like a dirty thing. Like that's why when you come to God, you shouldn't really come with you shouldn't come with no thoughts and feelings, because a thought and a feeling is GMO. That like a mind is GMO. If y'all didn't know, like a mind state is already dirty by default. How do you think we even created organs? Like that's our natures. That's dirt. That's animal. So a mind is a creature, just a higher evolved creature. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's better to call it a spaceship, because a spaceship is more lighter in a frequency and vibration. So you can get rid of a spaceship real quickly. With a mind, you can do the same thing. But that's why when you have something, when you like, it's kind of like you gotta know what you're doing. So it's kind of like when you have a certain way of how you think and feel, and like let's say you about to go to the beach today, right? I know we're in winter, but this is just an example. Let's say you about to go to the beach today, and you want to go at this certain time, and you have it like you thought about this since yesterday. You told your girlfriends, or like if you're a girl, you told your girlfriends. If you're a man, you told your dudes. You should be going with some girls, but you told you know what I'm saying. Yeah, let's be there at this time, right? So basically, what you're doing is like, and then you have that in your mind the whole day, right? So now in your mind you have, okay, we're gonna be here at this time, and it's gonna be perfect, and nigga, we finna get lit, nigga, we finna get high too, nigga, we finna drink in that bitch, nigga, we finna fuck some bitches, nigga, it's finna be lit. So that's what be on your mind. Or if you're a female, or with your girlfriends, like, yo, we finna go to the beach, we finna turn up, and you know, say shit like that. So it's kind of gonna be in the sense of this. However strong that mindset, that mind form you had in your mind to go that certain time and that certain place and thing, not only did you have all that time to think of how you want to get there, you also have time to feel how you would get there. And then not only did you go upon that, you were also in that world and start creating. We start building the houses, start building the streets, start creating the street lights, all types of weird crazy ass shit. You start, you know what I'm saying? You start picturing you in the car backing out the driveway, going all types, you know what I'm saying? So just for you, just for it to get to that certain time of the day, and it's raining, and all your girlfriends, or if you're a dude, all your friends talking about, oh yeah, nah, yeah, bro, it's raining, bro. The fuck, we can't do this. And then it makes it worse, because then you be like, all right, no, we can go another time, right? So it makes it even worse that you don't even like, you don't have the same thought and feeling, like it's kind of like you're going through death, because you killed that form and you create a new form similar to that. So that's why you even shed a tear, like shit like that, because you're going through like death in the spiritual realm, in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, creating a mind, and you really put all your energy into that shit. So of course when you let go of that, it's gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, why I said that. I said that to say this. So when you do create a mind, of course it's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna hurt like on what y'all think it's gonna like hurt. Death is like it's on a less percentage level now. But when you create a spaceship, you can kill that spaceship and create a new type of spaceship, and and like the death you create on that is kind of like, it's kind of like not going through death. It's kind of like adding rims to your spaceship. So it's kind of like it's like you're upgrading that shit. It's death, but because you changed it, you went to a different spaceship, you created a different spaceship form, whatever you want to call it. It's better to call it spaceship, because that's what God likes. That's what God likes to call it. But when you create a different spaceship, it's kind of like, now for you to even change that spaceship, or to change it, it's kind of like you stop playing with it. Like you start changing the colors, or changing the shape of it, or adding rims to your spaceship or shit like that. But that's still death, because that wasn't there too. So those are different forms. So it's not on the higher percent. It's not on the the higher percentage level as the mind. It's even lower. So the death is even less painful. So like when you're really, because like by default, when you're already in those worlds, when you're already in them realms of realities, right? You're really in a spaceship and you're really flying that bitch. Now, once you kill that shit and create a new spaceship, so a new direction for you to go, it'll play out as you doing that, but in the spiritual realm, because your spirit be knowing what it's doing. It's like you create a new form of a spaceship. So it could play out as different rims. It can play out as a different color, or you know what I'm saying. It could play out as like an added door, like some weird shit, or some other shit, like, because some, you know what I'm saying, some shit like that. But in a whole totality, it's kind of like you got to be knowing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be, when you go through these things, it's kind of like life is the school. So you being a student, right? The whole point is to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? And because when you're a teacher, now you not only do school like life needs you to learn whatever the fuck it had to even bring you here, or for you to even come here. So it's kind of like we're always in this. Oh, my need is mom. We're always in the space of like evolving and like creation and like shit like that. So it's like when you know what you're doing, you're a bad motherfucker, because like now you're in spaces of this shit starts to get fun, and you start having fun doing this shit. Like you start laughing, you be like, okay, you're like, oh shit, all right, so what's next? Like you'll be in spaces like that, and like then you see the whole world looks more and more and more like you. So since we already in a space of like this being in Uriel's world, Uriel is you. So the better you understand you, the better you understand the world. So when you understand, so when you understand uh the world, for you to even understand the world, you had to understand you. So that's the whole point. So create your own vibe, create your own charge, create your own everything. Because when you create that bitch, nigga, it's like life starts to bend on its knees and praise you. Whatever it wants to do to you, it does it to you, right? Because like you're in spaces of like you already been there, done that in so many eons and eons and eons and eons and eons and eons and eons of lives. So it can only just be you leading by example by at this point, because like it could be something you go through that the next person, like it could be something like you could be walking on the street and trip over a rock in front of like mad people and cars driving by, or it could be you could be at school and you trip in the hallway or whatever like that. Now, if you watch this channel, know this, right? Fuck all that shit. Fuck you tripping. Fuck you falling. Fuck nigga. How did you feel after that? How did like what kind of idea and feeling could you create from that? And you can put that Uno reverse card. It's kind of like you doing the reverse card. Like, how can you psych up the universe and make it or make her whatever you want to call it, make it think and feel how you want to make it think and feel. So it could be like you trip and fall, but nigga, when you get back up and people laugh, you whatever they do, you get back up, people laugh. It's kind of like you keep walking, you keep being on your business, you keep being on your 1-2. And then that should give you confirmation that nigga, that's like a small energy playing out in a different world, in a different lifetime that you've already been through something like that, but you knew how to handle that better than most people. So like the next person behind you or in front of you or 3 hallways across you, they can go something through that and be like, and they can over exaggerate because since the way they felt, how loud it was, whatever, they may have not went through no pain or anything, but just the way that they felt and people saw them, whatever, they could be on the ground like like they can over exaggerate it, right? And for them to even do that, it's like they're playing a role that's something that they didn't even have to go that deep in. Like, wow, if you never went through that, and then let's say you never went through that first, and they went through it, right? And then they were over exaggerating, my knee and all that shit. So now, motherfucker, they gotta call the nurse, they gotta call the teachers that and they pick them up. They gotta act limp and shit like that. They gotta act so or whatever they flunked out emotions and feelings and the ways, ideas, maybe to coming up with their head. It's kind of like not only did you create a substance for people to feel bad for you, feel negative towards you, laugh towards you, and not even the laughing with you, laughing at you type shit. At least, but I'm not gonna bring that. I'm gonna bring it up after I get to this point. Laughing at you, all types of shit. Like you're already in spaces. Now you're space. You're in the victim mind. So now you're already you're with spirits that were already spaces in being the victim, playing the victim. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was rightfully how I say this, rightfully right, true in that certain way and think of thinking and feeling, even if it was fact that you should have been a victim at that point. You're supposed to psych up the universe and nah, nigga, nah, you're the victim for even experiencing me fall at that. So like shit like that. So it's kind of like, with that being said, a weak spirit would go through that and not know how to react and come up with all types of retarded ass thoughts and feelings, and then they'll think and feel that the whole day, and no one and everyone that seen that spirit go through that that wouldn't even be in their mind or whatever. So it's kind of like they're building like that's hell. That's hell, because you're just like you're creating a world of you just being in routine and patterns and rotation and pattern and shit like that, and again and again and again. You go to school and that mind is it's like a light bulb. Like spirits have light bulbs. Spirits pilots start to tingle, and then they start to remember. Oh, even if they didn't remember it, they remember now because of you. Yo, yesterday was so funny. Let it be some shit like that. Now let's say you're the survived spirit, you're a strong spirit, and you felt like that. You got back up and walked like nothing happened. Yep, people may have laughed at you, people may have whatever, right? But that's not the point. you instead of transferring that energy, I mean, instead of being like that negative spirit, and because that negative spirit transferred that energy and then made it even worse. But see, you transmuted that energy, and when you transmuted that energy, now you're in spaces of every thought, every feeling, everyone's idea, whatever goes to you and you only, and you know how to do. And then especially if you're like you make music and you're in high school or whatever in your school, right? That like that, and you make music, you're talented, you do art, you make clothes, whatever. You can make that towards your clothes. It can be like a thing you do, like a wet caution sign or whatever like that. You falling, but you fall into money, you fall into gold, you fall into like a cloud, like a world, different world. It's you can get so deep with it and shit like that. So it's kind of like the whole school just they can't for some reason they can't even see that experience being embarrassing no more just because you went through it. So like they'll start acting when they walk towards you, and like they'll probably fake fall or fake slip or whatever. Like, oh shit, like it'll be some stupid shit. Like, just know you just got some energy right there, because now nigga, you're already in spaces of now you know what the fuck you're doing. So now motherfuckers have no choice but for them to copy you. So you're the leader now. So it's kind of like you're being an angelic spirit. You know what I'm saying? You're being an angle, a different angle of how to see something. That's what an angel is. Angels bring different angles and how to see something to bring an idea and a feeling. That's what angels do. That's what angels do. So now people have different ways and ways of thinking and feeling of how what you went, and then they'll even come up with in their mind of how that wasn't even a bad situation. And then locally they'll start to hate too, because they'll people getting like, nigga, well, how is this cat getting all this attention? Like, oh, it is, but just know, nigga, you're with God at that moment, and you can't words can't explain it. It was nothing, period. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you always want to be in percentage levels like that, where nigga, whatever the external gives you or puts at you, nigga, you're always in spaces of where that shit was beneficial for you. So I kind of brought you to the ocean. You should already have your own cup and know what the fuck I'm talking, and then create your, you know what I'm saying, and take the, you know what I'm saying, so shit like that. When we all, you know what I'm saying, we do it, you know what I'm saying, and we do this shit every day. We always like, this is our power, like thinking and feeling, psyching up the universe, creating our own vibe, uh uh talking, like all that shit is our power. So you know, it's kind of like, now, how are you going to do this? Are you going to do this in an angelic way or a demonic way? Now, the angelic way, you have better ways in how to see a situation, and then better ways in how create certain situations and shit like that. Now, demonic way is just how someone would do to over or to get at another person, or to change somebody's mind for them to be in the same space that they're in. Now, a human way would just to act as the whole world. Just it's kind of like it's always different, and a human is one step above demon. A human is one step over above a demon. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like shit like that. It's like, but I'm saying it's deep, but like it's like, motherfucker, we gotta know what the fuck we're doing, right? So it's like, motherfucker, we like, what time is it? I'll go for like a little 10 more minutes. But yeah, it's kind of like, motherfucker, we always in spaces where we're always in creative spaces, we're always in creation spaces, we're always doing something to like to benefit, not fuck that word. We're always doing something to uh proclaim, whatever I'm just fuck these words, but we're always doing something to well, these words, oh man, I'm trying to think of a word, because I ain't trying to use like, I'm trying to think of a word. Man, fuck that shit. But at the end of the day, nigga, your mind is a power. Your mind is the power, and nigga, know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. The whole point is to know how to create your own way of thinking and feeling. You know what I'm saying? And fuck however this external world or whatever this shit. Nah, nigga, create your own way of thinking and feeling. Cause nigga, when you know how to do shit like that, you're already in spaces of where you don't need no help. You don't need no anything. You know what I'm saying? You're in spaces where you did it all by yourself. So when you do get to the top, you know what I'm saying, to the top, when you do get to the top, the only thing you can thank is yourself and God. So you don't gotta be like these celebrities, like especially in the Grammys or whatever. They win something. They be like, oh, first of all, I like to thank God, and then first of all, I like to thank uh my producer. Then I like to thank my staff. Then I like to thank my security. And nigga, like that's too much think. That's too much thinking, nigga. When you're in thankful energies, it should only be for you and for you in its own. So for you should already know you got God within you. So that's kind of like an example of you should already know, connect with yourself and know God. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just connected with God and then knowing yourself. Because when you connect with you first, you know that for you to even know that no is God, because God is nothing. Now, when you connect with God from this external realm, the stern God you'll be thinking of is this Jewish God. So the first thing you'll think is some God that you can you for some reason think you can prove that you've seen them in real life. You know what I'm saying? And uh they were with you in your car, and you were smoking a blunt with them and shit like that. And then your staff and your security guard was behind you, and they were chopping it up with God too. And nah, nigga, that I don't, and so it's kind of like you get lost at that point. You gotta know God is nothing. So God ain't in this physical realm yet, at least. You know what I'm saying? But like the whole point, like angels gotta bring God down here, and that's just a way of thinking and feeling. You know what I'm saying? That's like new broad ways in how to think and feel. So when you're in spaces of knowing, creating new ways in how to think and feel, you're in spaces of you don't care about what the external is given out into you. You know that it all starts from in yourself. So when you understand in for yourself, you understand that you don't need no validation from this world, at least from this 3D shit. You already got validation from God. You already got confirmation from God, right? And I'm gonna end this shit off. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna yeah. So basically, right, as spirits, right, we're we're always we're always in spaces where we're always trying to create create the impossible, right? We're always trying to create the impossible. And I'm now, when I say create the impossible, by default I'm talking about the seventh, eighth, and ninth dimension, right? So our whole goal as a spiritual root race, right, especially angels, right, because we already know about this, the seventh, eighth, and ninth dimension by default. But it's kind of like we want to be in spaces where we know how to create an actual form there, right? So it's kind of like we're trying to do the impossible, right? And when you die, right, and you don't know how to protain, how to say, man, I see this is the word I can't think of. We don't know how to proclaim a way of living. You get influenced by everyone else's way and how they do, think, and feel, and live, and live their own life. So not only are you living for another man, the shadow dick, you're living, not even experiencing the real life in general, right? You're not even experiencing real life. So when you don't experience real life, when you already are in needing spaces of thinking you need more, for you to even think you need more is because you already know you're more than that. So when you think and need more, you're kind of doing you're kind of practicing witchcraft on yourself, of where you're gonna be in more thinking and needing spaces instead of understand these spaces for itself. So when you die, the spaces you go to, you're gonna be in spaces of where you wish you never were even in, even in spaces of thinking and feeling. Like you'll wish you'll nigga, you wish you'll never even were in was ever in that space, right? Because now you're in regret, and now you're in spaces of where you you as a observer where you were already in a space where you probably weren't far out as a spirit, right? So you were in spaces where you were in spaces where you needed you needed confirmation, validation, help. It's kind of like when you're born way in the when you're way in the middle of that of the monad. So spirits that be aware way in the middle of the monad by default. You're already in spaces of where you don't even know, like you don't even know you don't even know how to think and feel for yourself. And even if you did know how to think and feel for yourself, you'll do it like for another spirit. Like you'll do it for another spirit's way of how they think and feel, like how they can validate you in a sense, right? But you fail to realize that that spirit, that space you're in, that spirit is actually not even in that space. So you can only try to replicate a certain idea and way of thinking and feeling. So it's kind of like how it's like it's kind of like if you're in a relationship with somebody, right? It's kind of like, let's say you're not in this in relationship can go in all walks in life, like it's a friend, family, whatever, right? Let's say you got a one friend, right? That's about their business, like they're about making money, they're about stacking up, they're about their music, they're about all that shit, right? I keep saying music because nigga, I make music, but it could be through anything, like it could be like real estate, whatever, right? And let's say that certain friend has you in this space, and let's say that friend is the spiritual one, and you're you're like you try to be the spiritual one, like, so it's like you're only with them for the gains and the benefits and the pot and the shit like that. Now, eventually, that spirit's polysenses is gonna tingle, and they're gonna come to the realization that for you only want them to be there because, I mean, you only want to be with that certain spirit, that certain individuals, because you want to, you may want a gain out of that, you may want a benefit out of that, you may want something out of that, but in a whole totality, like it's going to trickle down, like the puzzle piece, like God's going to give that individual, like the spiritual one, the puzzle pieces. It's always going to boil down to this: you just want to be in that space for the long run. You know what I'm saying? You just want to be in a space for the gold at the end of the rainbow. You're not really in this space because you're genuine, because you really want to do, like, you're in the space for a selfish reason, right? So when that, let's say that spirit, all right, so let's say that spirit dies mysteriously, right? And you know what I'm saying, in a mysterious way, right? The negative one, the world that they go to, and they're where they're willing and willing to create for themselves, it can only be a negative space of trying to be like something that they're not. So now they're in spaces of where they may be in worlds where the spaces that they get to are spaces of just trying to always be fulfilled and try to be in fulfillment, and always thinking like you need more and more and more. And aka, that's another word for you just being in purgatory. Because now you're in purgatory, you don't even know that you're dead yet. You're still in spaces of where you think you waking up every day, you're eating a bowl of cereal, drinking some milk, you know what I'm saying, you're driving, all that shit, but you really just created a hell for yourself. And it gets even worse if the spirit was even really negative. Like if that spirit was really an actual parasitic spirit, not only are they again ready to come straight back down to the 1, 2, and third dimension, they may be like a tapeworm, a garden snake, a slug, some type of parasitical creature, and they gonna have to be in that world where they learn again. It's like they go to school and they learn again and how to get back and to come up and create their own shit and create their own ideas and know where the fuck they truly came from. You know what I'm saying? And know how the fuck they created their little one too. Cause without that, nigga, they ain't gonna be shit. So it's kind of like they deep down know they ain't shit, but it's kind of like now they gotta start off from being shit again because they're in a parasitical body and shit like that. And motherfucker, we just and shit like that. So man, just always be spiritual, motherfucker. Always be spiritual, y'all, and always be an individual. That's for one thing, and always be yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to end it off right there, man. I love and appreciate all y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching. And motherfucker, I'll be live again tomorrow on this motherfucker. And y'all stay spiritual and motherfucking stay spiritually strapped in this motherfucker. I love y'all. Yeah. I love y'all. How do I end this? I love y'all.